Hello, thriving survivors, and welcome back to another episode of Survivor Girl Podcast. Hanging out in the studio with my lovely co host, Becky.
Hello, everyone.
And we also have a special guest. Christina is here hanging out with us tonight.
Hello.
So we got a couple things that we always do before the show, and then we got a couple things that we're going to talk about. And then we will get into her sharing her thriving survivor story.
Sounds good to me. So, I guess I'll start with our wonderful disclaimer. We are not doctors, therapists, counselors, or trained medical professionals. We are not here to treat, diagnose, prescribe, or in any means do treatment. We're here to share what we have been through and overcome in the hopes of inspiring, empowering, and uplifting others.
And we just hope, even if we just reach one person with that we have been successful.
That's right.
So, and with doing this podcast, we have been so lucky to get lots of really positive feedback. We've had people inbox us and tell us that they are thankful that we do the show and that they feel like they are not alone. And we are happy to keep on hearing that because that's what we want to do. We want to reach as many people as we possibly can. But we do feel that we are successful even if we just reach one.
That's right.
So I'm thankful that you're sitting here with me and on this journey.
Yes, I am thankful too.
Survivor Girl has been just a blessing to be able to do.
It really has.
We have changed up a lot of stuff in our own lives, not just sharing our stories and everything, but we do a lot of different practices and different things that we do to help make our days better and help other people make their days better. So, but you had a couple things that you wanted to talk about.
I do.
So if you're ready to go.
I am ready. I have been reading Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis, and something in it kind of just caught my attention. And with Christina being on today, I thought I had to share it today because it kind of coincides with something she had posted in 6 Degrees Truth Serum.
Oh, okay.
And the challenge that she had implemented where, she challenged everybody to take care of their self-care.
Yes.
So
yes, great
in
challenge.
in the book, Rachel talks about 20 different lies.
Okay.
And in the chapter I'm Not Good Enough, she explains things that helped her.
Okay.
And the thing that she did that helped her is she reordered her list.
Okay.
So this is that little section. It says, when I ask most women to name their things on their priority list, they can throw them out there, no problem, kids, partner, work, faith, etc. Bullet points rarely do. You know what also rarely changes no matter how many women I talk to? Women actually put themselves on their own priority. Women actually know, actually putting themselves on their own priority list.
Yeah.
You should be the very first of your priorities. Are you getting enough sleep, enough water, the right nutrition? You cannot take care of others well if you're not willing to take care of yourself first.
So true.
Also, one of the best ways to ensure that you stop trying to run from your problems is to face them head on.
Wow.
So,
wow, that's powerful.
So yes, as women, we need to actually put ourselves on our priority list, and we need to make ourselves first, because if we're not taking care of ourselves, if we're not healthy,
you can't help anybody else.
We can't help anybody else.
Yep, that's for sure. And we've learned that.
Yeah.
We've learned that the hard way.
Yes,
when we started wanting to do a Survivor Girl podcast, that was our main goal, was to reach out and help other people, help direct other people to, being able to have resources of different things that they're going through, getting the guests on to share their stories to help them also. And we learned quite a lesson, because in the beginning it got to be pretty busy pretty quick.
Yes.
And that's not a complaint. We were super thankful to see how well Survivor Girl has, come up, and it's a very hard lesson, because we've had some different stuff that's happened to us, and you've talked about it.
Yes.
We both have talked about it on different episodes, and still currently kind of going through
we're
it.
Still fighting,
but we're learning.
We are.
We definitely have taken away from the lessons to be sure that we're taking care of ourselves.
I was going to say, work is work.
Yeah.
And if you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life.
Absolutely.
And I'm absolutely loving this. So
if
it causes me to help work on myself and help myself heal, then that's exactly what needs to happen.
We're doing the right thing. Then.
Exactly.
We're going on the right path. So, and I feel the exact same way. Like it has been incredible. being able to meet new people,
Mm-hmm.
the women that come in, and men. We've had men on
Yeah.
our show
Yes.
sharing their stories, and the strength to just be able to sit in that chair and share.
Yeah.
I know we try to make the studio as comfortable as possible for
Yes.
that, to accommodate for them to tell their story. But it's different for everybody else, for everybody who sits in the
Yes.
chair.
Yeah.
Luckily, in the end, we hear, thank you for that, because now I
Yeah.
feel better, and
Yeah.
but it
Exactly.
definitely is a part of self care as well,
Yes, it
and doing
is.
things not just to help change the world, but to help
Uh-huh.
ourselves too along the way.
Yep.
And that's awesome to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
With
kind of
that,
segueing
yeah.
into what's been going on with you.
Okay, well, as everybody knows, I've been going to the wound clinic, and if you caught Tuesday evening's live video on Facebook, you'll get to see my new handy dandy little toy.
Right.
I will kind of share it with you guys
Okay.
right now. I can lift it up, but you'll have to give me a second.
No problem.
I have this wonderful little contraption.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can see, it's kind of attached with stuff going into it.
Yeah.
It's called a wound vac.
All right.
And it's going to be stuck to my leg for at least 5 weeks.
Wow.
At least that's what the math is when I check how many supplies I have for it.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yeah.
So we're hoping that's only like the
it's supposed to actually help heal more quickly.
Yeah.
It reduces the pressure on the wound itself.
Oh, okay. All right.
And some of the things that it does is it drains the excess fluid from the wound. And as
Okay.
you know, bacteria grows in moisture.
Mm-hmm.
So it also helps reduce the swelling. It reduces the bacteria. It helps keep the wound moist and warm, which it needs to grow.
Right.
It helps draw the wound edges together. It increases the blood flow, and it decreases the swelling.
Awesome.
So we're doing the wound vac in conjunction with the wonderful antibiotic infusions that I do 5 times a day, and we're already seeing progress.
Awesome.
I had 3 opened wounds.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them were very superficial.
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 they have marked in my chart as healed.
Oh, awesome.
So I
Great
just
news.
have the huge hole, which is smaller.
Right. Right.
The last time I remember them measuring the depth, they could touch the bone, and that was like 2 centimeters into the back of my heel.
Right.
When they measured me Monday, it was it was 6
Oh, awesome.
tenths of a centimeter.
Awesome. So it is definitely healing. And
yes.
so like we had discussed, because I was teasing, I'm like, so are you going to name that thing? She's like, I'm not naming it because it's not sticking around. I said,
exactly.
So it's going to do its job, and then you're firing
exactly.
it.
Yes.
So.
And if all goes well, I'm finally seeing a dim light at the end of the tunnel.
Good.
Because this wound vac and the antibiotics should be wrapped up by around Thanksgiving.
Awesome.
So
very awesome.
Yeah.
So,
something to be thankful for.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
For sure. So that's cool. So they're being very aggressive with the treatment to help you get through this at the time.
They are.
And you have been very positive. You are keeping your,
I've had bad days.
Oh, I'm sure.
I've had bad days. I've laid it down, and
since learning that,
exactly,
you are definitely fighting against it now.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say, my Aunt Dee says, asks me when I'm going through battles, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
Yep. Absolutely.
So my plate is actually rather full of elephants.
Right.
But I'm eating it like a champ.
Yeah. There you go. Get some A1 out.
That's right.
Cover that.
So now we're joking around that I went from part zombie to part cyborg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's better. Moving in
but the thing
different direction.
I was kind of hoping that they would take and put some tilapia skin on me, because they're using tilapia skin to help.
Really?
Yeah, to
Interesting.
help burn victims. And so my hopes of being part mermaid have just kind of down the drain.
Yeah. Of course.
That would have been so cool.
It would have been cool. But it is cool. It is cool that they're getting there, and that is healing. I mean, great news. Great news.
Yep.
So we have got that. You've got that going on.
Yes.
We've got some other stuff happening. We got Mitch Gill's show coming up.
Yep. And that's October 26th.
October 26th is going to be happening, and that's going to be at the Brentwood here in Carroll. Tickets are only $15, and I don't have the names of the comedians right now. However, He has 3 of them coming. We always have a great time. The
Yes.
place gets packed, so if you really
Yes.
want to go, get a hold of him. And I believe the Chamber of Commerce, you can get tickets at now
Yep,
because
Carroll Chamber of Commerce.
they are raising money for the Commerce, I believe, at this
Yes.
show. So
Yeah.
that's going to be really cool. I know Tony's trying to pull up those, but I am
Yeah.
horrible at saying names, so this should be fun.
Yeah, and of course he's, going further away and giving it to you instead of me.
Right,
So
right, and you're
thank
better
you, Tony,
at it.
for that one.
Right. So we have headliner Bob Phillips. Oh, that was easy. Featuring Steve Smargon. That might not be right.
That might not be. But
and it looks like Perry. And that's what I'm going to give you.
Perry.
So that's the 26th.
Perry.
26th, it's going to be a blast. We always like to put that out there because we believe that laugh therapy is a very good thing to have in your life. And they deliver. And Mitch will be performing also. Mitch also does a show through us. We do the Strange Friends Media. He does Mitch's Fake Radio. And that is every last Monday of the month. So he'll have one of those shows coming up too.
So I'm going to say it's Perry Shahale.
Thank you. That sounds better.
That would be my guess.
So Perry Shahale. And Perry, if we said it wrong, thank you for
sorry.
listening to Survivor Girl Podcast.
Yes, thank you.
So we got that coming up. We're also doing a ladies' night. It is through invite only. It is a private. But if you message Survivor Girl Street Team or Survivor Girl Podcast, we can add you to the event, and you're more than welcome to join us. We just really want to get together and before the holidays, kind of chill out. We've got Dawn with Rarity Nails. She'll have those manicures for $5.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have Sarah from Paparazzi, and Ashlyn will be doing makeovers from the company Mascara. And one of our favorite, which oddly enough, Mascara doesn't have mascara.
Yeah.
Because the creator of the company does not like the product that came out, so she's not selling it until she gets it right.
Exactly.
Kudos to her.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
And then
I heard that the mascara was mineral based.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's
so.
what
It's supposed to be like less chemicals.
Yes.
Same thing with
Yes.
the Rarity Nails too. And we also, speaking of less chemicals, Stone Cottage Farm is going to be there.
Yes.
She's going to be hanging out. So she'll be bringing some of her amazing goat soaps that we always brag about, and you won't want to miss that part of it. It is a free event. It doesn't cost anything for you to come and hang out with us. But if you want to, bring some spending money because there are going to be different stuff there that you'll be able to afford. Plus, we'll have some Survivor Girl stuff hanging out too.
Yes, we will.
And Ducky's Doodads
will be there as well.
So we'll have some of that. And we're going to do a little photo booth. And we're just going to have fun, talk about what's going on in life, and kind of have some girl time. So
now you said you were providing some sort of soup.
I'm making potato soup.
Yum.
So, and then the only thing that we ask is that you bring maybe some bread or crackers or a favorite soup or a bottle of wine.
Since I'm laid up, I was going to just, go buy some bread.
There you go.
Bring some bread and butter.
That works. That works perfect.
Yep. So we just bring a dish or a wine.
Yeah.
Or soup.
Or a soup, or a dessert, anything, something that you might want to just bring, just grab at the store or make yourself, whatever you want to do. It's going to just be fun. It's not to raise any money for anything, just to
see what's out there and just
share,
have fun with friends and
pamper ourselves, hang out and enjoy some comfort food. So sounds like it'll be starting at 6:00. So we kind of put it a little bit later because it's a Friday, and with work and kids and everything, and we figured moms will have to get adjusted, people that are working, But we've had people asking if we can do another one, which we will be working on that because I know it's hard to get scheduled, so we'll try to adjust it to where we have other ladies' nights too. Yeah. So we have that going on.
Or a ladies' spa day.
We could do that too. Yeah. I mean, we've done those before, and those have been really fun as well. We've done foot detoxes and all kinds of different things. And
we have.
Just something to help you pamper yourself and feed your soul, make yourself get ready for these holidays because it's going to be interesting. Plus, there'll be stuff if you want to buy gifts for people to get your Christmas shopping started.
I was going to say, definitely that goat milk soap from Stone Cottage Farms.
3 for $10.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
The activated charcoal soap is only, I think, $6 a bar, which is perfect because it works great.
$6 a bar or 2 for $10, I believe.
2 for $10. Yep. There you go. So we're looking forward to doing that, and also one of our not one of our sponsors, but someone that we're trying to help raise money for is Corky's Dream.
Yes.
We just did an event for it was Las Vegas. It was an inaugural event, which was a lot of fun. They did blackjack, and they also had where you could play poker, roulette, and a whole bunch of other really cool things, live auction, all that stuff. But we want to continue to help raising them money. So hopefully soon we'll have some links to be able to share with you guys, because it is a future home of a women's shelter and animal shelter.
Yes.
So when women and children come in, they can bring their animal along with them, and
So
I
they don't
think
have to
that's
leave them
super
behind.
important.
Yes,
So
exactly.
good cause. We're hoping to continue to help to raise money for that, and see that built in the future. So
yes.
So I think that was. Oh, we were going to talk about the challenges on Facebook this week.
Yes. How is your morning going? Sending the motivational stuff.
Morning motivational. I think I've got 15 or 16 people now that I'm sending it to. So,
wow.
Which, if anybody would like to jump on that and get the messages in the morning, I generally will send a funny gift for like a smiling to get you a smile in the morning, a positive meme, and also a song of some sort.
Now, are you sending the same songs to everybody?
Every single person. I'm sending the same thing to everybody in that morning, and then I change it up for the next one. And today was the breakup song.
Yes.
Which
is very, very...
it's deceiving when you...
But
when you listen to the lyrics, like it was very deceiving because I sent it to Adam too, because I'm trying to say that positive going, and he goes, breakup song. Wait, what?
What are you telling me?
No, honey, no. I read the caption, because I made sure I put that there, that it's actually about, the song is about breaking up with fear.
Yes.
And that's one of the big things that I've struggled with, throughout my life, is always allowing fear to take over any decision or any kind of thing that I've always wanted to do, like a dream or something. And it kind of started at a young age, because my mom would be like, well, what about this? Or what about that? And she was supportive, but she'd be like, put those things in there, and I'd be like, ooh, never thought about that. What about that? So then I'd start thinking in my head and building up different things and whatnot. But I kind of have been trying to get to that point where I am completely broken up with fear and moving forward with all of the things that, I want to put forward.
I was going to say, well, a while ago, I decided that I was going to do things that make me uncomfortable and try to find the comfort in the uncomfortable.
Yeah. Speaking of, Survivor Girl podcast, like I think that was the first jumping off point for you.
It's kind of off a cliff and falling ever since. But I'm loving it. So.
Yeah, that's good. That's awesome. I mean, that was part of the whole. I did that video and was like, I'm thinking about doing this podcast, and I want to, I'd love to have a co-host. I think that it would be awesome to do, and you were the first person.
And without hesitation.
I wasn't even done with the video.
You weren't even done with the video, and I was sending you a private message saying, "Hey, I want to try." I told you I wanted to try out, and you're like, "Okay,
let's do this."
Unbeknownst to me, there really wasn't any trying out.
No, not really. I was just like, let's just go over to the studio and let's talk, and we just kind of went over.
And
a couple
she shoved
things.
a microphone in my face, and
yep, and it's been
she hasn't
since
been able
April.
to shut me up.
Yeah, it's been since April. And, as we keep continuing to move forward, like, it flows so much better. We've kind of got that going on. And Becky is also wonderful, because she does a lot of the graphics. She's been helping with that. And we call her Pepper Potts around here because she is very good at getting links and everything else. It's not that we're not good with it. Okay, so maybe we aren't, but you're just like, zing, here it is. I'm like, oh, perfect, thank you, because here I am, like,
I was going to say, I've even been helping out on the Don't Make This Weird podcast.
Yeah, absolutely, and we've been appreciating that.
Hey, sure. Becky, if you're listening, and before they can even finish, if you're listening, ding,
which is awesome. And we definitely appreciate it. Yeah, no, she's just like, okay, got it.
I did have to implement a small rule that when I was on the bathroom toilet, that I was not on duty.
Sorry, not there, not doing it for you. All right, we'll keep that time to yourself, because we're good with keeping that time to ourselves.
That's part of my self-care.
Yeah, part of self, and that's important. Definitely. But so we've been doing that, and then also there's that Facebook challenge of the black and white.
Yeah, share your week
for a week.
Yep.
So different things that, you've posted. You posted the wound vac. You posted,
The wound vac and the Big B coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adam
And then,
goes, she went to Big B?
yeah,
I said, yeah. She
Monday.
went to Big B.
I did. And then I also posted my first infusion that I set
Mhm.
up myself.
Yep.
And Cupid, of course, my healing partner.
Yep. So you are on, this was your third day today.
Today was 4.
Today was 4.
Yeah.
Okay, me too. So I'm on the 4th day too,
Mhm.
which has been kind of a cool challenge. I quit
has.
tagging people. I just said anybody who
Well,
wanted to.
I've been tagging the people who have tagged me so I can say, hey, see, I'm doing it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
It's been fun. Yeah, I did.
yeah, Tony called me out this morning. He was,
I seen
I'm
that.
already doing it.
I'm
I'm
already
like,
doing it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just tagging you because, well,
Right. Yeah. So it's been cool. Today I posted my hula hoops, which I don't have a problem. Okay, maybe I've got 7 now. Never on sale though, and I need like 2 of the same size to do
Girl
cool
math.
tricks.
girl
yeah.
math.
Yeah, I spent like 60 cents on the smaller ones and $1.60 for the big ones. I was like, yeah, I just can't not buy these.
Yeah.
So I'm learning different
And yeah,
tricks.
you have 2 arms and 2 legs. So if
Right.
you're going to hula hoop
Right.
that way, then yeah,
I'm
you
not
need...
that talented with the legs yet, but
Not yet.
I'm still not that talented with the both arms doing 2 hoops at once, but I'm working on it because
Yeah.
there's a very cool project going on with Tony's cousin Dustin, who is the unknown artist. They're putting together the song "The Greatest Showman," and they're having different people either sing, do like a video, whatever. And I was thinking, oh, that would be cool if I can learn how to do a routine with my hoops and then put that, with the video.
Oh, and here I thought you were going to be outside Run Fair at your booth hula hooping.
Well,
to
I'm
get
not
people
saying
to come in.
I'm not saying I'm not going to do that. Like, this is just training for that. No, just exercise really is why I started doing it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that'd be fun. And I just started doing it. So I'm getting a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I thought that would be cool to put for the video if I can pull it off.
Yeah, if you can pull it off, that'll be it.
If not, I'll attempt to sing.
How goes the practice?
Pretty good. Good. I usually practice every day. So
Yep, there you go.
they were hanging on my door, and then I just was like, oh, well, I could just pick it up. And, they're right there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
but all right. So we've talked enough about us, I think.
I think so.
I think it's time to get.
And
She's like,
Christina's sitting
no.
here shaking her head. No.
She's like, no.
I'm
Nope.
good listening.
I'm good.
Good
Just,
listening. Well, we are super glad to have you join us. I know telling your story is not an easy thing,
Yeah.
so we appreciate you wanting to share that with everybody. And you've been one of our friends for quite some time now, and we're thankful to have you and see that you have your own set of struggles that you go through each day.
Yes.
You've been through different things, but
Absolutely.
you thrive.
yeah.
You still thrive, and it's good to see another sister, making it through after some of these things that you've dealt with.
Yeah.
I make it work.
Yeah.
So why don't you start with just a little bit about you? Like,
Hmm.
are you married? Do you have kids?
Yeah, for the 3rd time.
Well, you didn't have to admit that, but yeah, just basic biographical information.
Well, I will be 41 in a couple weeks.
No way.
A couple of weeks.
Couple weeks.
Well, that's
I
cool.
have 2 biological kids,
Okay.
one of which is living, the other is not. And that's a big part of what I'm going to be talking about.
All right.
I have 2 very wonderful adult stepchildren that I adore.
That's awesome.
2 grandbabies. Hopefully next year or 2 I'll have more.
Awesome.
Because who knows if I'll get them from Connor.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Right.
say, my aunt says that grandbabies are the reward for not killing your children.
Oh, jeez.
I probably have to agree with that. And you can love on them as much as you want and then send them home.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. My aunt purposely feeds ice cream and then sends them home to mom when they're all sugared up.
I try
Hear that,
not
Megan?
to do that.
Yeah.
Because I know mom doesn't appreciate that kind of stuff, and her being by herself, it's a little rough on her at times.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That can be. I can imagine it can be. So.
I discovered that I had mental illness at 28 years old.
Okay.
So I've been dealing with that on and off since then. And it was all of a sudden running into a brick wall and stopping type of realization.
Wow.
My dad died unexpectedly at 47, and that was all it took. and I spiraled bad. I couldn't even be a mom to Connor at the time.
And that grieving and depression and stuff, it really does. And
does
when you
take a
lose
toll
somebody,
on
It
you.
does.
yeah,
And I was trying to finish up college. I was in the last semester of my college at the time. So that was a bit tough. So I basically just buried myself in that.
yeah, and that's another thing too that I've noticed with a lot of people that have sudden death with one of their loved ones or parents or whatever. They find something else that they can. So for you to go into doing your schooling instead of
Yeah.
some of the other alternatives,
There really wasn't, I mean, that was my only solution to it that I could see, you
Right.
know. I know some people turn to alcohol or drugs or whatever, but that wasn't an option for me.
yeah,
I've never been that person and I didn't want to be.
right,
So, so over the next, that was like early 2007. I ended up dealing with that, getting divorced from my son's father. 2008, my best friend committed suicide.
oh jeez,
Wow.
Um, then just when I was, dealing with all of that, it was 2010. I had met somebody, and I always had this, if I don't have another kid by the time I'm 32, I'm done having kids.
yeah,
I found out 2 days before my 32nd birthday that I was pregnant.
oh wow, wow,
Wow.
It was very unexpected. And I say unexpected because I was on birth control
right, right,
and nothing had ever happened beforehand like that. So I was quite shocked.
I would be too, yeah,
I was in the, oh my God, what am I going to do? And then once I accepted it, I was like, okay, I can do this. And I was 12 weeks pregnant and started having complications. I woke up in the middle of the night. My bed was soaked. I was bleeding. And they just told me I had developed a blood clot and it would take care of itself.
okay, wow,
Bed rest, blah, 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 blah. Then I was, I think, 21 weeks pregnant.
mm-hmm.
Went to see the specialist in Saginaw, and he was concerned about my level of amniotic fluid. Gets a hold of my doctor. She calls me into her office, and she's like, the chances of your baby living after birth, if you carry him to full term, will be about a 5% chance. And I recommend terminating the pregnancy now. And I was like, no.
yeah,
I said, I will carry him as long as I'm able to. And when he decides he wants to be born, then I'll deal with it then.
right, right,
So they told me that once I reached 24 weeks, because a pregnancy was not viable until 24 weeks,
mm-hmm.
that they would admit me to the hospital here in Saginaw and they would do amniotic infusions
Okay,
to keep my levels up, so give him time for his lungs to develop, blah, 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 keep me on complete bed rest until I was at least 30 weeks.
wow,
And then they would deliver him. He had completely other plans at this point. 23 weeks and 6 days, and he decided to be born.
oh wow,
I was supposed to go the next day to Saginaw.
yeah,
He was very tiny. And when he was born, they didn't have a problem, starting IVs on him, intubating him, nothing. Had no problems whatsoever until the ambulance started to bring him to Saginaw. And they had to resuscitate him 3 or 4 times, I think, from the drive from Mount Pleasant to Saginaw. So he was in pretty rough shape by the time I got to Saginaw.
yeah,
which was maybe a half hour after he arrived. And with me being in the field I am, I take care of people with developmental and physical disabilities. I knew the odds when the doctor told me, this is the percentage. There's a 5% chance that he'll make it through this.
Yeah.
Out of that 5%, there's a 98% chance that he's going to end up with cerebral palsy.
Okay.
And my first thought is, I couldn't put Connor through that.
Right. Yeah.
Because I knew once I was gone, he'd have to take care of me.
Right. And it's not an easy decision there.
Not at all.
And I feel for you on that.
Mm-hmm.
So I did the thing that I thought was best for him, and I had them take him off life support. It was rough.
I can't even begin to imagine.
Probably the worst day of my life so far.
It's not ever, no matter what age, how having to make that kind of decision, and I know having to make something like that, it stays with you.
And it's never easy.
It's never
No.
easy. Never easy. But
A parent never wants to make that decision with
No.
their child.
no,
Right.
I couldn't even begin to imagine.
And, I've considered myself in a way lucky because I'm not one of those parents who had to go through, 10, 15, 20 years with their child and getting to know them
Right.
as a person and loving them that whole time.
Right.
With him, it was quick. He lived for 6 hours.
Yeah.
But then again, I get frustrated because I didn't get those things with him.
Right. I mean, it's that decision. It's like you said, it stuck with you this time, but there's you have Connor, and I mean, I'm sure that's probably a hard thing to hear.
Connor has honestly been what has kept me going.
Yeah.
Through all of it.
Yeah.
Because I knew I had him.
Yeah.
And as much of a pain in the butt he's been.
But you can genuinely see how much he loves you, and
Yeah.
I've seen you guys interact with each other, and it's good to see. Like, he's like, love
We
you,
have
mama.
a really
love ya."
good relationship.
Yeah, that's
For
good.
him being a 16-year-old boy, we have a really good
Yeah,
relationship.
he's got a good head on his shoulders too.
For the
Genuinely.
most part.
For the most part, yeah. For the most part.
I'm
I mean,
afraid
he still
that's
has
gonna change.
Teenage years.
Yeah, but you're still only going to be 17.
17. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So many like academics there, and just all the things that he's done. Smart kid.
He drives me nuts. He's so smart.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Literally.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's like, oh, did you know this?
But I do now.
Thank you for telling me.
You. That's incredible.
So, I mean, Seth was, I think, that final coffin in that nail that, like, I wasn't crazy before, that just.
That just added to that,
Yeah.
to everything you had going on.
And I went to counseling, and I have been diagnosed with a mood disorder, severe anxiety and depression, PTSD,
Yeah.
a whole list of things. And people are like, you can't really tell. And it's like, no, I hide it pretty well.
I would say the same. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Because before tonight, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known.
I've told people like bits and pieces.
Mhm.
Like, yes, I have 2 children.
Yeah.
But, my second son, he passed away after he was born.
Right.
And that's generally where I leave it.
Right. Well, yeah, because
You
there's a
know.
lot of time that you probably don't want to talk about
Well,
all of it.
because
and-
this happens
It's
when I
understandable.
go,
Oh yeah,
full detail of,
Yeah.
things that happened.
for sure. That's a lot, though. That's a lot
Yeah.
of things to go through, and it was more like boom, boom, boom. You know,
It was.
There's like barely any break in between there, and
Yeah.
when you have those kind of things that happen, it's hard to heal from one thing to the next.
It was a matter of 4 years that,
Yeah.
everything, all those big things happened.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of people they probably would have been in a padded room.
Probably, for sure.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say, and it goes against the norm too,
Right.
because parents have children.
Right.
Children are supposed to bury the parents. It's not supposed to be the
Right.
parents burying
For
the
sure.
children.
For
Right.
sure.
So when that happens,
And
it
apparently
really is rough.
it was all just a freak accident. I developed a blood clot. It caused a hole in my placenta, amniotic fluid leaks.
Mhm.
He was not thriving the way he should have been.
Mhm.
So they said.
Right.
But at, when he was born, he was bigger than most babies are.
Yeah.
Because he was
It's a big kid. A big kid.
like 1 pound, 3 ounces
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
and
okay.
12.5 inches long already.
Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
was,
He was gonna be a
yeah.
yeah.
Connor was a big boy.
Yeah. Well, he still is.
Yes.
Does he wear like size 16 shoes or something?
14.
Oh, okay. Well, still big.
He's
Very
about-
big.
Say that's
He's about
pretty.
250, 260
Yeah.
pounds.
Big
And
guy.
now he is 6'3".
Oh wow.
Wow.
He told
Yeah.
me a couple weeks ago, he's like, Mom, I need new pants. I was like, why?
Floods
He's like,
happening.
These are too short. I'm like, oh, no. I can't do this.
Stop growing for a
And
minute.
unfortunately, he's still got a couple more years to grow.
Yeah, because he
Mhm.
just turned 16 in
Yeah.
April. So,
Yeah.
yeah, he's
Wow.
probably got about 5 years to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez. Craziness.
After he's 18, he's buying his own damn clothes.
He's on his own. I don't blame you. Right now, it's Goodwill and
As he should be.
Salvation Army.
And, I've been like
Yeah.
that since he was probably about 2, maybe.
And
It's got
garage
good
sales. You can't
stuff.
forget the garage
Yeah.
sales.
It's got
I
good
ha-
stuff. I shop there.
Yeah.
I have
Love-
refused to buy that kid brand new stuff unless it's something
Why?
special that I want him
You know,
to
why
have.
would you? Why would you? Because they grow so quick.
It's all secondhand stuff, and I don't feel so bad when a month or 2 later he's like, "Hey, I need new pants."
I was gonna say, well, at least Connor's the first child. I
Mhm.
kind of feel bad for Ravenna, Megan's youngest.
Yeah, she gets all the.
Because she gets
She gets all the hand-me-downs.
well, it goes from it went from Delia to Ayana, and then Megan stored it away,
Mhm.
and now it's Ravenna. So Ravenna's wearing all of the other kids'
Yeah.
clothes.
well, see,
got her-
Connor,
doesn't
when he
have her own
grows out of
style.
his, I take him back to Goodwill or
Yeah,
Salvation
yeah.
Army or something and donate them,
Yeah.
or I find somebody else that can wear them and be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, here you go."
Well, after Venna, that's where they're going. But
Yeah.
it's actually kind of cool because she can now do pictures where Delia wears it, Ayana wears
that's
it,
actually a really
all
good
around
idea.
at the same age.
Mhm.
So
That's pretty
That's
cool.
awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But so, what is he going into school for?
yeah,
Or has he not decided yet?
No, he is definitely
He definitely
decided.
did. Okay.
He is going to get his undergraduate. He's double majoring in biochem and molecular and cellular biology.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Awesome. Very
Scary.
cool.
And what does he
Yeah.
plan on doing with that?
he plans on being a doctor.
Oh,
That's
So he plans on
incredible.
going to med school after
that's a whole lot of college there, Connor.
8 years.
Yeah.
but
He's starting.
but he's
young.
starting early. So
He's gonna be like Doogie.
Yeah.
he'll be 25 by the time he's done
Oh.
and starts his residency. So
Awesome.
Wow.
Well, we support him
Oh,
completely.
yeah.
Every time you post about him, I'm just like, go Connor,
Yeah.
go do it, man.
I
That's awesome.
am a very proud mother.
Oh yeah, we can tell.
I was
It's,
gonna
it's
say,
great.
and
Never stop bragging
and
about him.
CMU is a really good school too.
Yeah.
so-
Mhm.
Well, at first he wanted to go to MSU because they had the DO program. That's what he wants. He doesn't want to be MD. I don't know why, but same amount of schooling, but whatever.
Right.
The letters mean different things.
Yeah.
Right. He
Yeah.
I
Right.
guess he wants to be able to pop people back into place, make sure their bones and everything are aligned, whatever.
Oh,
That's cool.
hey, there's a lot of work for ortho doctors.
Right.
For sure. For sure. That's cool.
And he had every intention of going to MSU. He had everything ready, and that's where he was going. And then he went to his campus visit at CMU, and they said, "Well, our DO program is going to be up and running in a year and a half."
Oh wow.
There
And he
goes.
was like,
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to apply there. And when he went, they said, we'll waive the $40 fee if you apply now.
Oh, wow.
Can't beat that.
So
Yeah,
right?
you can't beat that at all.
That's
he
awesome.
did, and he found out last Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
He got a text from the school saying, congratulations.
That's cool.
Wow.
Welcome to CMU.
Yay.
And then he got his welcome letter and all of his information stuff.
The big
on
thick
Friday.
packet that every
Mhm.
high schooler
Mhm.
looks for this time of year.
It's very
Yeah.
cool. So you're a
Yeah.
CMU mom now.
I am.
Awesome.
I'm looking
That's
forward to it.
awesome.
And he's like, I get discounted tickets for football games. I'm like,
Yes.
yay.
All right. That's cool. So, do you know like his decision to go into being a doctor? Did that have anything to do with some of the stuff that you deal with on a daily, or?
I'm not sure. I mean, he's always looking stuff up
Mhm.
regarding fibro and
Yeah.
treatments and what causes it. And,
Yeah.
you know, so possibly because it was probably about a year after Seth was born and everything that they discovered that I had fibromyalgia.
Oh wow.
Well, with the research and everything they've done,
Mm-hmm.
it's a central nervous disorder. It can be caused by trauma
Okay.
because all of that trauma tends to put your nerves into overdrive, and
Yeah.
the result is fibro. But I don't know. He said since he was like 11 that that's what he wanted
Wanted
to
to
do.
be a
So.
doctor. Yeah. That's cool.
And I've always encouraged him to do what he wanted,
That's cool. That's
not
very
what other
good.
people expect.
Yeah, that's very good. It's hard to find that sometimes with parents because a lot of times, from what I've seen, is they don't want you to either not go. They don't want you to go in their footsteps, or they want you to go in their
Right.
footsteps. Go to my college. I want to go do what I'm doing. No, and you see that a lot. So to have a parent that actually supports and is like, okay, go do what you want to do in your life. That's incredible.
Yep.
That's incredible. So you've had fibro for how long now?
6, 7 years somewhere in there. Maybe
Yeah.
it was 2000. It was 2013 when I was
Okay.
diagnosed. And it started with, I was constantly feeling sick and constantly exhausted. And then one day I was at work because I worked for a doctor, and I just all of a sudden I got really dizzy.
Mm-hmm.
Went in the bathroom. I ended up getting sick. My nose started bleeding.
Wow.
Just this horrible pain in my head.
Hmm.
And the doctor I worked for, he told me, he's like, it sounds like you have migraines. Do you have migraines? I was like, I never have.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've had headaches.
Right.
I've battled headaches since I was a child, but never migraines. And he sent me home, and he also ordered a head CT for me.
Okay.
He's like, I want to find out what's going on here. I was constantly like flu-like symptoms.
Yeah.
If anybody asks what it's like to have fibro, it is like having the worst case of flu ever. Every single day, almost.
Wow.
I get a reprieve every once in a while.
Yeah. Wow.
But it is,
Yeah.
I mean, it's constantly aching, joints, stiffness, muscle aches.
Isn't it your skin feel like it's on fire, or if it's certain materials or whatever touch or anything?
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah.
Having clothes on at times, it feels like just needles.
Wow.
Mike can go to rub my back, and there are times that I just flinch
Yeah.
and suck it up because him rubbing my back or whatever
Mm-hmm.
is going to make me feel better. But while he's touching me, it's like being stabbed with a cactus.
Wow.
Ouch.
And, they say diabetic neuropathy in your feet. I have the same thing.
Yeah.
My feet feel like they're on fire.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm laying down and my feet are touching, especially, it's more so my left foot.
Yeah.
Like in the arch in the bottom of it.
Mm-hmm.
If my right foot touches it too long, it's burning, painful. it's horrible.
Yeah, it's just like you're afraid of anything touching
Yeah.
because you're gonna be in pain.
Mhm.
Anything. That's crazy. Do you get like hot sweats or cold sweats or hot flashes or anything like that with it, or?
I have horrible night sweats, hot
Mhm.
flashes, but I don't know if that's that or.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
I
for
mean,
sure if
a
that was
majority
another.
of it I think is that,
Yeah.
but I think some of it's age is kicking
the
in
other
there.
thing. Yeah, that fun.
That
fun
getting
thing.
older.
Yeah.
Something else to add on top of everything.
Right.
I told you, Heather, you turn 40 and you
Yeah.
fall apart.
That's what she's telling me. I'm like, I'm turning 40 this year. Just fall apart. No thanks. No thanks. Yeah.
You get all new outlooks on life
Yeah.
and new symptoms.
Fun stuff.
Even if you're not chronically sick,
Yeah.
it's like, when did this start happening?
Right. Right. I'm looking forward to that part of it. But
Yeah. It's
so what do they do for someone that has fibromyalgia?
well, a lot of doctors are still on the if you diet and exercise
Mm-hmm.
and you lose some weight, it'll be easier on you. But they don't get the if I exercise, I'm going to hurt more
Right.
because I'm going to be so exhausted, and fatigue and exhaustion is one of the big symptoms of it.
Yeah. Like how can you do any exercise when you're constantly tired or
Well,
in
they
pain?
apparently think, you just suck it up and forget about it.
Yeah.
You'll be okay.
Ugh, I hate that, especially with something like that. Like you probably have heard, "Well, you look fine.
Mm-hmm.
You look fine. Like nothing. That's one of the hard things. Is like,
But
having
people
that
don't
and
see
then-
me when I get out of bed in the morning, and I basically have to roll out of bed, and it takes me like 5 minutes to be able to stand upright
Mhm.
and move because my body is hurting so bad and so
Yeah.
stiff. Or when you go to bed thinking, "Oh, I'm going to get some good sleep," and
Right.
then you wake up 3, 4, 5 times in the night because you're hurting, or you've laid in bed for 5 hours going, sleeping, and then you're awake because it's like my hips are killing me
Yeah.
from laying against the mattress.
Yeah. Wow.
So you're like, screw it, I'm done sleeping.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how tired you are. That's
That's what you get. Wow.
that's that.
Do you have like groups that you are involved with, or do you have other people that you talk to about it, or?
I actually used to have a friend that who was going through it with me, but due to different paths in life,
Right.
in fact, I haven't talked to her in a couple of years. So.
I see that. I find that too. As you get older, that stuff happens also.
Yeah.
Like there's just
It
it
is.
happens. It's like part of the life, I think, where we just are like, okay.
Well, that, and it's really hard for me because I love to make plans, and I love to see people, and I love to hang out with people, and then when it comes time to do so, I'm so exhausted or hurting so bad that it's like I can't go.
Yeah.
Yep, I know that one.
Oh,
from-
yeah.
You know that one.
Oh, yeah. Depression.
Depression.
Uh-huh.
And I've had the adrenal fatigue stuff, and
Yeah.
that knocks me out. And I'm just
Well,
like, I'm
already
done.
having anxiety and depression,
Mhm.
and then you put a chronic illness on top of it, and it's
Right.
a never-ending cycle.
Right.
Yeah, I was going to say, with the lymphedema and the depression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes
Oh,
it
yeah.
hard.
Yeah, it does.
So basically, I do what I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten a job now and I've been there for a year now.
Awesome.
That it's not physical for me,
Yeah,
so it works out pretty good.
that's good.
I mean, the hardest part is when I work 14 and 16-hour days.
Yeah.
I can't just lay down and take a nap whenever I feel like it because I'm
Right.
there for 16 hours.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah.
So it's rough, but it makes it worth it because then I have a whole week off of work to where I can rest up. And then by the time Connor comes home, I've gotten the laundry done. I've gotten
Yeah.
things done that I needed to.
Yeah.
So, and I'm feeling pretty good, so I can spend time with him.
That's
Yeah.
great. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I still have to be able to function as a mom.
Mhm.
Yes.
So those days where you have the extra energy, and those are like just amazing days. Like
They are.
But
And
it's scary because you don't know what the next day is going to be if you use up all of that energy.
right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, okay, well, I feel good, so I've got to get this done, and I got to do this, and I
Yeah.
got to, you know, go, and you're going for a majority of the day, and then you lay down and sleep, and you wake up the next morning. It's like, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I knew better.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have done it, but I did.
Yeah. And it's probably, you were married too, and I'm sure he understands a lot of the things that you go through. So, support and stuff.
He is very supportive about it.
That's good. That's hard when
Yeah.
you don't have somebody that understands or can try to understand it, because if you haven't gone through it, then obviously you don't know.
Right.
But that's one of the things too that I used to get frustrated when things happened with the adrenal, because I would be so tired, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, I'm so tired. Like, I don't want to. We were getting ready to go out, like you said, planning a date, getting ready to go out, and just all of a sudden it hit me, and I'm like, I need to sit down. Like, I get dizzy, I get tired, whatever. I'm
Right.
like, I'm sorry, I can't. Or
was
my
gonna
stomach
say.
starts hurting. It's just like, I can't
Yeah.
do it.
And there
But
was a
he
couple of
understands.
Well, and there was
You
a
know.
couple of times when you were with me, and
Mhm.
you're just like, okay, I have to go.
And you've seen me too.
Yeah,
Like, you've
I have
watched
seen
it.
her go from here down
Oh, yeah.
like that.
And
So
it's not fun, but when you have people that understand too, like, that makes it so much better, and you become more understanding too. I mean, like, when I was younger, I still would understand things, but sometimes I'd get like bummed out if somebody had to cancel. But now, or for instance, like my mom, she had a lot of different things that she dealt with,
Right.
and it was hard sometimes because I'm like, Mom, we were gonna go do this.
Yeah.
Like, why aren't we doing this? And now I'm just look back and I go, man, if I would have understood, if
Yep.
I would have understood that as a kid, like, or as a teenager, I should say, or when she'd get her anxiety, I wouldn't. I'm like, just, you're okay. Like, I was guilty of that because I didn't understand it as a kid, but now I have it, and same thing. I'm like, oh,
As an adult, I sat and, well, as a child,
mhm.
We used to give my mom crap. And I feel bad for this now. But, it was always, you're crazy, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
She suffered from mental illness.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be in that position.
Yeah.
And now that I have, I'm like,
Yeah, it hits.
you feel really bad.
Yeah. Yep. When you hit that, and you know what? I started actually going to therapy when I was like 15 years old.
Right.
Like, my mom got me into therapy because she dealt with it all of her life. She was codependent. She had a lot of other different things. So she got me in her, and I still see that therapist. She's kicked me out several times because she's like, "You're doing great. I have no warrant to keep you. There's nothing I can tell the insurance company to keep you coming right now." And then she'd be like, "Just make an appointment if you need to come back." So since 15, I've seen her. I've always seen her. And
I wish my mom would have taken steps towards that, but my mom and I have never had a mother-daughter relationship. And unfortunately, we never will.
Yeah. That's tough.
It's, she's on one end of the spectrum and on the other because it was probably due to her having children so young.
Yeah.
And with, suffering from the mental illness and whatnot. So, I never had that with her.
Yeah.
And I wish I would have, because it would have been easier to possibly understand what she was going through at a younger age and be like, maybe am I going to have to go through this instead of all of a sudden being 28 and being like,
wham,
guess what you get?
Door prize number 1. Yeah, it's not easy when something like that just happens and it comes out and you're like, oh, now I'm in the same shoes. It's different, and there's been such a stigma on mental illness and growing up. Like, my family barely talked about it. Like, my one side of the family was just like, nope, no medication, no nothing.
Well, it's like fibro too. A lot of people are like, oh, it's not real. There's no test you could do to check for it. No, there's not. It's a process of elimination, but it is very real.
Very much so real.
And it affects more people than most know about.
Yeah, and there's no cure for it at this point.
No. And I was that person. When it first happened to me, I was that person to be like, this isn't real.
Yeah.
How can you constantly be in pain and all this and that and not be able to scientifically prove it?
Yeah.
It doesn't make
Yeah.
sense to me.
Right.
Then that hit, and I was like,
every day. Yeah.
got it.
Yeah. Now I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You don't get it till you get it.
Right. And it sucks sometimes, doesn't it? Yeah, it sucks.
It's rotten.
Sometimes. Yeah. So with so is there any treatments that they give you? Is there anything else that you may have found that might help?
I've been a person, I refuse to take narcotics.
Mhm.
I won't do it. I won't ask for it. I will kill my liver and stomach with Tylenol and Motrin before I take narcotics.
Yeah.
But gabapentin seems to work because it blocks those nerve receptors.
Yeah.
So it does get rid of a lot of the pain. It's
Mhm.
still there.
Yeah.
But it makes it easier to go about your day.
Doing your 14 and 16
Yeah.
hour shifts, I
Yeah.
imagine. Yeah. Wow.
So, I mean, there are medicines out there that can help.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there are a lot more studies going on now. There's a lot more awareness brought to fibro and,
There needs to be.
you know,
Yeah.
There
it's
needs
a
to
central
be.
nervous disorder now instead of, you know, chronic fatigue or just
Right.
muscle aches like they
Right.
thought.
Wow.
So,
I seen the other thing too, and I haven't done much of the research on it about the mold thing. That
yes,
I think you've seen that too, or
Yeah.
share maybe possibly have shared it where
a black mold,
mhm.
the symptoms of black mold poisoning actually mimic that of fibro.
I've seen
And
that.
people that have been diagnosed with fibro
Get that
have
tested.
finally been tested for black mold poisoning, and some of them are coming up positive. Like, now you're going to have to go through treatment, and it's a very long treatment.
Yeah.
But if, you know, if I were one of those people and they said, this is what's causing it, I'd be like, yes, fix me.
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
I want it taken care
I
of.
bet. So have you thought about going and seeing if they will test you?
I have an appointment with my doctor, I think, in January, and
Okay.
it is definitely something I'm going to bring up to her.
Oh, I don't blame you. I definitely would too, because seeing that, I was like, wow. Like, I would
And
never
it's-
thought that. Never.
Right. It's like a sinus swab or something that they
Yeah.
do and then send it out for the bacteria to be checked and
Right.
whatnot. So,
Well, you know, I hope that if that's the case, that they're able to help you out and get you moving in that right direction. We want to definitely continue to follow up with you and see how you've been doing. And
definitely.
we're looking forward to the newsletter that we have coming
Yes.
out. We have you in there as one of our
Yes.
featured guests, and
Yes.
we're thankful to have you come join us. I know sharing your story has not been easy, but we appreciate
Yeah.
you doing that. And
Yes. Thank you so much.
I have to say, today is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Day.
Well, there you
So
go.
it seemed to be a perfect day to tell
Wow.
this.
Yes.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that today. I've never experienced it, so I can't imagine.
Well, no, you have experienced a whole other.
Yeah, lots of different things, you
Yeah.
know, and
know.
we both have gone through some different stuff, and the not being able to have kids, that was a bit rough.
Yeah.
But there's a silver lining. Adam has Connor, and I look forward to
How are
hopefully.
things going with that?
And we're still working through it.
Working
Still working
Yeah.
through it, but I look forward to hopefully having that option, you know. So Connors are good.
I
see?
have faith. in Connors are awesome.
Connors are awesome. I agree. And then the funniest thing about the thing is, if you look at a picture of him and I, he looks like he could be my kid.
He does.
I
showed
showed,
me
I
that,
did,
yeah.
and I was just like, he's got my, like, how does that happen? Like, how, you know? All right.
See, in my Connor, he looked just like his dad from the day he was
Yeah.
born until he was about, until he about hit puberty.
Yeah.
And now I look at him and I'm like,
you could tell he's your son.
wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you looked that much like me.
Yeah, he sure does. I
He
see
does,
the pictures.
yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, that's definitely her boy.
I'm like, there's no doubt who's mom.
And I love it because you guys do all kinds of fun stuff, funny pictures. Like he's
I
hilarious.
was gonna say I love the Spirit Halloween picture.
Yes.
Did you see the one of him in his cut off striped overalls?
Yes.
I told him I'm blowing that up for graduation
Mhm.
next year.
It has to happen. It has to happen. Like that has to be part,
Yes.
like the biggest one there. That's like,
Yeah.
Congratulations, Connor. That's awesome.
So, I'm a big advocate for, being able to live your life. I'm proof.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can make it through.
Yes.
It's not always easy. And
No.
every day is different, but
So if you were to give a message to somebody else who's going through fibro or any of the things that you've gone through, what would you say?
be persistent.
Yeah.
Talk to your doctor. If they don't listen, find another doctor.
Yeah.
Keep going until you find one that's going to listen to you.
That's good advice. Very good
that's
advice.
very good
Because a lot of
advice.
them won't.
Yeah.
They either
Unfortunately.
want to push narcotics
Mhm.
on you and then you become an addict, or that can't be that. That can't be that.
Yeah.
You know,
You have the right
Yeah.
to fire your doctor. We talked about that in the last show.
Yes, we did.
Absolutely.
Yes,
You
we
know,
did.
you don't have to stick with the one that you get. There's many
Yeah.
out there, and to look
Exactly.
for someone that's a specialist too. I don't know if there are.
I'm actually seeing an internal med doctor
Oh, okay.
now.
Okay.
I've given up on the family doctors. They
Yeah.
just, with the anxiety and depression, they're like, okay, we'll take this med. Well, how are you feeling? I'm still not feeling any better. I mean, mentally, yeah, I might be okay, but my fibro, well, let's increase that. Why are you increasing my med for anxiety and depression when that part of me, I'm feeling better? It's my body that's falling apart.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's tough getting a doctor that will listen.
Yeah.
It is.
You
But that
really
goes
have
for
to advocate.
therapists, too.
Therapist too. Yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
Oh,
Yes.
definitely.
You have the
I've-
right to fire your therapist.
I've done it before.
Oh, I have too.
I had a lady tell me that I had asked her about the medication. I'm like, if I take medication, because at that time I was married, and I'm like, I want to have kids. Is this going to
Okay.
affect if I get pregnant? And she's like, why would you want to take medication? Why would you want to be like your mom?
Oh, I probably would have slapped her and walked
Yeah.
out.
I told her, I said, my mom was the best mother, best person I ever met. And
Yeah.
like, I had tears, like rage tears.
Right.
I walked out. I probably looked like a crazy ass because I walked up to the counter and I was like, I never want to see her again. And I walked out. I flung open my car door, and in doing that and trying to get in, I ended up getting my eye like on the corner because I was
Ouch.
so pissed off. So you can.
Yes.
It just made me mad because, yes, I talked about the things that my mom
Yeah.
had going on that were mentally, but my mom was an incredible mom.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it didn't matter. She had her moments. She was in bed, whatever, from the depression, but
Yeah.
she was incredible. And when she said that to me, I was just like, yeah, no, we're not.
No,
we're
you-
not doing this.
You
So,
definitely have to be persistent and be your own advocate, because honestly, nobody's going to do it for you.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
A lot of times. But, well, we thank you so much for being with
Yes.
And
us.
thanks for having me, guys.
We look forward to keeping in touch and finding out how you've
Yeah.
been doing, and definitely want to know how that doctor's appointment goes with you. And
I will definitely let everybody know
All right.
about
Yeah.
yeah, for
that.
sure.
Because,
Yeah.
I mean, if it's something simple that has a cause and treatment
Yeah.
and it'll go away,
That would
I'm
be-
all over it.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. So we look forward to seeing you next week,
I hope
and
so.
we love being able to
Yes.
share stories, and even if it's hard. It
Even-
helps.
yeah.
It helps, and
It
you have
does.
been listening since the very beginning, and we
Yes.
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you for that.
Yes. Thank
We
you.
I
thank
try
you.
to.
Well, we appreciate it.
And
We
most
appreciate it.
most of the time, I'm either at work or I'm driving home from dropping Connor off. So
Well, we appreciate it very much. Your
keeps
support
my
has
mind
been,
occupied.
your
Yes.
support's been incredible, and you even made a plaque for the Survivor Girl with my quote on it.
Did.
So it was.
Yeah.
I
we
have
appreciate
another
that.
one that will be.
Oh, there's another one?
Oh,
Oh.
what? And
Great.
I guess
Thanks for ruining the surprise, Heather.
Sorry. Well, on that note, we might as well go ahead and go with your.
Thank you
sign
guys
off.
for the prayers, and be better, not bitter.
And also, guys, remember that life is best lived.
Thank you.